My husband got me drunk on my wedding night just for his entire family to have a taste of me. Episode 1. I never believed in love at first sight. It always seemed like something from a fairy tale, something too perfect to be real. But when I met Michael, all my beliefs were shaken. The first time I saw him, he stood across the room at a mutual friend's party, his eyes meeting mine for the briefest moment. It felt like time had stopped. His smile was warm, charming, and made me feel like I was the only person in the room. I was instantly drawn to him. There was something about him, a charisma that seemed effortless, a kindness in his eyes that made me feel safe. We started talking, and soon I was wrapped up in his world. Everything he did felt perfect. We spent hours talking, laughing, and getting to know one another. Before I knew it, I was in love. After a few months of dating, Michael asked me to marry him. The proposal was magical. He took me to a beautiful spot overlooking the ocean, and under the stars, asked me to be his forever. I didn't even hesitate. I said yes, knowing that I had found the one person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. The wedding was a dream come true. The venue was grand, filled with flowers, music, and laughter. My dress was perfect, the guests were happy, and everything seemed to be falling into place. Michael's family, who I had just met a few weeks earlier, was warm and welcoming. His father, a well-respected man, made me feel like I was already part of the family. His siblings were kind, and his cousins, although somewhat distant, had a certain charm. As the night went on, I couldn't have felt more blessed. This was my fairy tale. This was my beginning. After the reception, Michael and I finally left for our honeymoon. We arrived at his family's estate, a large mansion tucked away in the hills. It looked beautiful, almost too perfect, like something out of a gothic novel. The house was quiet, except for the faint creaking of the wooden floors as we walked through the long, echoing hallways. The walls seemed to whisper with history, secrets that hadn't been told in years. That night, after we retired to our bedroom, something changed. It was subtle at first, almost unnoticeable. Michael was still the man I had fallen in love with, kind and attentive, but there was something in his eyes, a shadow that I couldn't quite place. As we lay in bed, he looked at me for a long moment, his gaze heavy. "You're beautiful," he whispered. "Thank you," I replied, but his words didn't sound like a compliment anymore. They felt calculated, as if he were sizing me up. Then he suggested that we have a drink to celebrate. I had never been much of a drinker, but Michael insisted. "Just one drink to help you relax. You deserve it." I agreed, thinking it would be a nice way to unwind after such a busy day. He poured a glass of wine and handed it to me, urging me to take a sip. The wine was sweet, comforting. I felt my tension begin to ease as I drank, but soon my head started to feel heavy. "Michael, I feel strange," I murmured, my words slurring as I began to lose control of my thoughts. Michael smiled softly, almost as if he were waiting for me to slip away into sleep. "Just relax, Clara. Everything is fine." But the words felt wrong, as if they were rehearsed, as if he was hiding something behind that smile. I struggled to stay awake, but my vision blurred. My mind began to sink into a fog, and the last thing I remember was Michael's hand gently pushing me back onto the bed. "Sleep, my love. Sleep, and let everything be fine." Follow the stories beyond.